Legos, APIs, and e-invoicing. How can Lego blocks from our favorite childhood memories have any connection with APIs, application programming interfaces, which are a standard development practice for coders? Moreover, how do these two concepts apply to the almost $6 billion e-invoicing industry? Today, businesses are required to provide a growing number of digital services, regardless of the industry. Let's take your local pizza store who gets the Hawaiian pizza order from Uber Eats. This Uber Eats data is fed into the restaurant's ordering system powered by Salesforce, a software company. When pineapple toppings become depleted, an automated trigger is sent to the local Woolworths grocery store to restock. When the customer receives the order, Uber Eats will automatically ask them to share feedback on Facebook. Imagine asking the local pizza store to code Uber Eats, Salesforce, Facebook, and Woolworths application all from scratch. This will sound like an unimaginable task. Thankfully, APIs provide a fast-track solution. Just like the modular Lego blocks, APIs are modular functionalities that can be customized to create new applications. Instead of a pizza store coding Uber Eats from scratch, it can access the Uber Eats menu data using APIs. In principle, if the pizza store has an amateur coder, they can now build a new application using the publicly available data on API websites, changing the requirements from coding an entire network of systems from scratch to assembling the system out of Lego blocks. Fethi Rabhi, a professor from the School of Computer Science and Engineering at the University of New South Wales, leads the UNSW Innovation Lab that provides opportunities for university minds to apply coding best practices to solve industry problems.
An API is used by a programmer. So the programmer has to write code, and in that code, it goes and accesses the program based on another computer. So think about a human being accessing a website. So you click on the URL and you access the website and you read the information. An API is used by a programmer to access an application on another computer. APIs relate to Legos because many people can reuse them in different contexts. Somebody builds you an API that gives you the temperature in a place in the world. Somebody might use it in an airline to put that on the dashboard of an airplane. So as you can see, the Lego blocks could be used on their own, or they can be combined with other Lego blocks to build bigger Lego blocks. But what's important is that concept of reusability.
George Joukhadar is a lecturer from the School of Information Systems at the University of New South Wales, working closely with Professor Fethi Rabhi to conduct interdisciplinary research on how APIs can be used in the fintech space.
From the 1st of July 2022, the Australian government agencies are encouraging the use of e-invoicing, and this will cause an extensive industry-wide overhaul. E-invoicing standards are bounded by core key pillars: data format, network, and validation. Let's look at each of these pillars one after the other. First, in e-invoicing, the data format is the overall structure of the electronic invoice that you send. For the receiver system to recognize the invoice sent from the sender system, a standardized format is required. Without this standardized format, the invoice cannot be read. Second, an e-invoicing network is a communication medium for securely transferring invoicing data, and at present, the PayPal network is emerging as a global standard. On the PayPal network, every business will have an electronic address which is very similar to a postal address. In Australia, the address is the Australian Business Number, the ABN, which provides a unique identifier for every business. And lastly, e-invoicing validation means that there are specific rules that are enforced by public organizations. In Australia, the Australian Taxation Office is the governing body enforcing the validation rules related to e-invoicing.
For small businesses to satisfy any combination of these e-invoicing pillars, the task can be daunting. Based on their interdisciplinary research on applying the APIs to e-invoicing, George and Fethi are advocating for the formation of an API ecosystem. Such an API ecosystem can bring together stakeholders with different knowledge and expertise, instead of just relying on one person or organization. In an API ecosystem, there are three key stakeholders: customers, API providers, and solution providers. Customers are businesses that would like to purchase business solutions, allowing them to adopt e-invoicing according to country regulations. API providers are developers who understand the requirements of the regulation to create specific functionalities. Finally, solution providers are intermediary companies that connect the API providers to the customers by customizing packaged solutions. Just like the fundamental building blocks of Lego, APIs are the fundamental building blocks of our society's applications. This research promotes the importance of solving problems based on an API ecosystem. By looking at APIs from an ecosystem perspective, we can continue to solve business problems that go well beyond e-invoicing. When you want to build an application next time, think about customizing it with the Lego mindset.